Hi everyone, this is Julie from Make, Take, and Teach, and welcome to my very first video in what I hope to be a series of videos on topics relating to literacy. This session's focus is on teaching phoneme segmentation. Before I show you some activities that you can use to teach this skill, I want to establish a little bit of background knowledge so that you know exactly what phoneme segmentation is and how it fits into literacy instruction. Now, the National Reading Panel identified 5 key components, sometimes referred to as the 5 big ideas of reading instruction. So a research-based comprehensive literacy curriculum must include the following components: phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. And the skill we're going to talk about today falls under the category of phonemic awareness. Okay, so what is phonemic awareness? Well, the word phoneme is another word for sound, so it's sound awareness. Phonemic awareness falls under a broader category called phonological awareness, which also includes skills such as rhyme and syllabication and onset rhyme. But when we talk about phonemic awareness, that's when we're breaking words down into individual speech sounds. And there are skills that fall under phonemic awareness: sound isolation, blending, segmenting, and phoneme manipulation. And the skill we're addressing today is phoneme segmentation. And this is a skill that we would expect children to have towards the end of kindergarten, beginning of first grade, so around the age of 6 years. Okay, so what is it that we want the child to do? What is our end goal? Well, what we want the child to do is break up or segment a word, whether it's a word that we provide orally or a word that the child is attempting to write. So I would say, I want you to tell me all the sounds in the word cat, and the child would say k, a, t. Tell me the sounds in shoe: sh, oo, bug, b, a, g, match, m, a, ch, frog, f, a, g. Now notice there's not a direct correlation between the number of letters in a word and the number of sounds. So for example, the word shoe has 4 letters but only 2 sounds. When we're talking about phonemic awareness, we're talking about the sounds in words, not the letters. So how are you going to teach this skill? Well, you're going to teach it systematically and explicitly. Now, systematic teaching refers to the sequence in which you present the tasks. So you're going to begin with the easier task first, and then progressively work through the tasks until the point where the child is doing the skill independently. Now, explicit teaching means that you're going to tell this child or your students exactly what you want them to do. You're going to provide a model, you're going to provide feedback, and you're going to give many opportunities for practice. Now, following the I do, we do, you do model is often very helpful. So I do means that you model as a teacher. We do would mean that you and the student would do the activity together, and then you're going to gradually release responsibility to the student so that the student then is able to do the task independently. So what you're going for is error-free learning. All right, now for the activities that you can use for teaching phoneme segmentation. The first activity I like to use is the breaking up words activity. And this is because there's a one-to-one correspondence between the number of dots and the sounds in the words. So if we're introducing this activity to a student, we want to follow the I do, we do, you do method. So we would introduce this activity by first saying, we're going to be saying sounds in words. For each sound, we will touch a dot, and then we will blend the word back together as we move our finger along the line. Watch me. Duck, d, a, duck. And of course you'll be touching the dots for each sound and then the green arrow for blending the sounds back together. Now you may need to provide a few more models for the student. Then what you would do is you'll go ahead and pick another card and then you'll do it with the student. So you and the student then would be pointing to the dots, saying the word and blending it back. Now depending on how well your student does with this, it would depend on how quickly you move the student to an independent task. Now if you download the Make, Take, and Teach cards, in that packet you'll receive pictures with 2 phonemes, 3 phonemes, and 4 and 5 phonemes. When you're introducing this task, try to stick with the 2 and 3 phoneme words, and then you can gradually build up to the words containing 4 and 5 phonemes. Alright, so the next activity for teaching phoneme segmentation is the squaring up activity. And this is a little more difficult because there is not a one-to-one correspondence between the squares and the sounds in the word. Although in this picture there does happen to be 4 squares, 4 sounds in the word tiger, but with the other pictures that's just not the case. So what we're going to do is have the child say the word and then move a tile as they say each sound in the word. So for the word tiger, the child would say t, move a square, I, move a square, g, move a square, move a square. So I use plastic counting tiles, but you could use pennies or bingo chips or anything that you have on hand. During the holidays, you can often find little holiday gems, like little heart gems or shamrock gems in the dollar store, and those are always fun to use with this activity. Alright, the say it, move it activity is very similar to the squaring up activity. I typically use bingo chips for this activity, and you'll place the bingo chips in the square. And then you'll say a word, and then you'll have the child move a chip down for each sound they hear in the word, and then blend that word back together as they move their finger along the green line. So if I was to say the word mat, the child would take a chip, move it to the first circle as they're saying go back up, pick another chip, move it to the second circle and say ah, and then the third chip to the third circle as they're saying the sound t, and then blend that back together. A, t, mat. Alright, now the bead slide activity is my all-time favorite activity for teaching phoneme segmentation. Now to make the bead slide, you'll need a shoelace and then you would need beads. Just make sure that the beads have some resistance on the shoelace. And I have 6 beads on each shoelace. And what you're going to do is provide the student with a word, and then they're going to move a bead for each sound in the word. So if the word was shoe, they would say shh, move a bead, ooh, move a bead. So certainly a little more difficult than the tasks that we have shared so far, but a little bit easier than just providing the word orally. So the activities I showed you today are just 4 of 15 activities designed to teach phonemic awareness, and those activities are contained in the Response to Intervention Phonemic Awareness Activity Pack, which can be downloaded from my Teacher Pay Teacher store or the Make, Take, and Teach website. Just in case you don't want to do the printing yourself or the shopping yourself, I have available the intervention kits, and I have those for both parents and teachers, and those can be ordered on the Make, Take, and Teach website. Well, thank you very much for joining me on this video. I'm hoping again to do a few more videos on issues relating to literacy. Bye.